What's the girl equivalent of getting distracted by a woman's boobs? Story 1. As a woman who is addicted to working out, it's rather easy to see if a guy is fit even when he's fully dressed. Spotting someone in a crowd who has that good posture, calm determined aura of a fellow fitness addict. Sorry, I'm aware this is cringy AF, but the gym is how I deal with my issues, lol, is magical. Like seeing a unicorn. It's a time stopper and can make me forget what I was talking about. Story 2. Haha, that's just 'cause I'm in a healthy relationship, I guess. My boyfriend thinks stuff like this is funny. I get these types of situations a lot at work, mostly just people flirting, and he knows that customers that are flirty in some way usually bring in good tips, so he doesn't care. He knows who I'm going home to at the end of the night, and he knows I'm all his, so that's all that matters to him. Story 3. A friendly note about sweatpants. As an autistic man, I found out last month at age 41, I have been wearing sweatpants for the last 2+ decades because I have no sense of fashion. They are comfortable and not scratchy, sensory thing, and I have been a teleworker for 11 years now. They fit my tree trunk cyclist/martial arts legs. My legs are bigger than my waist, so only Levi's 569s fit correctly. Story 4. I get that one. A girl I had dated in high school used to wear this cherry chapstick, and every once in a while I'll smell that and get knocked back a decade and a half. Had to edit this because I'm getting old now. Kissing her goodbye before class. The way smell is tied to memory is scary sometimes. Barely remember what that girl looked like, can't remember her voice, but I'll always remember that smell. Story 5. If I admire some attribute or skill someone has, I tend to get distracted by things related to it. Great hockey player? I'm distracted by their powerful strides and strong legs. Piano player? Watching their hands glide across the keys makes their hands look super elegant and attractive. Finally, when people are particularly kind to others, their voice suddenly becomes more attractive to me for some reason. Story 6. This is a more heavy response, but I had a friend with a bad heroin addiction, and she would get so distracted by bulging veins she would literally trail off from what she was saying and just stare. We talked about it, and she said those veins would grab her attention and she would automatically fixate on them. She couldn't think about anything else. Drugs suck. Addiction sucks. It took her a year or so later. Story 7. I got called out by a friend of mine in high school because I couldn't stop staring at her tits. It was then I realized that I wasn't straight. I immediately apologized, and every time I noticed my line of sight going back to them I would stop. Pretty sure she knew. Thankfully, it didn't upset her and we were friends until we graduated. I still think she was the hottest chick in my grade. Edit, clarification. Story 8. I get distracted by random things tbh. My partner has particularly strong forearms and strong hands to match. I like watching his tendon in his wrist, or how the muscles move when he does mundane things like picking up a controller. Long hair on a man will do that for me too. I like watching how his hair moves and flows down his back. Scent is huge. Personally, I like strong smells, but not like Axe or Old Spice. Story 9. Was taking a very handsome man's order one day and got distracted by how handsome he was. Had to ask again what he wanted. His dad just nudged him and winked, giggling about it. He knew. The guy blushed like crazy. I was blushing from awkwardness. I wanted to crawl in a hole and die every time they ordered something, 'cause his dad would try to find a way to keep me in the conversation with his son a little longer, lol. Story 10. My last relationship, boyfriend was a former hockey player. He wasn't playing while we were dating, and at the time we were both in our early 30s, but he still had an incredible physique for someone who didn't work out anymore. My favorites were his legs and his arms/shoulders and back. We used to work together, and so sometimes I would be staring at him from across the floor and be thinking to myself, "God damn. Story 11, I think about this a lot. Guys seem to get bowled over by boobs or butts, i.e., biological features that suggest she's a potential good mate. Girls, on the other hand, for me, it's hair. Hair. I've surveyed my friends, and it's all over the place: forearms, eyes, smiles. One girl really digs a dude with a deep collarbone pocket. I've got a BS in biology, am a woman, and I still don't think I'll ever understand women. Story 12, I get distracted by men's chest hair cleavage and will stare and imagine what is underneath. Assuming I'm already attracted in some form. I'm bi. But women's tits are pretty in your face for both genders, I imagine. I don't think I'm on the same level as men for desiring tits. I guess I'm an ass person. I tend to notice hair, clothing, and types that go with that and fall for women well before I care about their cup size. Story 13, I was at a sub shop the other day and saw a guy wearing shorts with amazing legs. Especially his calves. I caught myself staring. My husband was with me and I told him, wow, that guy really had nice legs. My hubby said yeah. I figured it must be something like that because all three of the women in here just completely stopped what they were doing and stared at that guy the whole time he was in here picking up his order. Story 14, there isn't one. We're a sexually dimorphic species, and this includes software in the mind specific to the hardware. The point is, in our species, the woman is the shower and the man is the seeker. By definition, men are evolutionarily programmed to have far stronger hormonal responses to visual stimuli. That's not to say women don't also experience these responses, but that's a little like comparing a lit match to a bonfire. Story 15, so I'm not a woman, but I'll say what women have told me. Being skilled at something, especially something that's blue-collar kind of work. When I'm doing work around the house, my wife loves it. Another for me has been my voice. Doesn't work so much where I live, but I have a southern country accent. Not one of the annoying movie ones that exaggerates it. Talking in discords with people, women have said my voice is sexy AF, some men, to LOL. Story 16, basically, any sense of style or aesthetic. I'm not really sexual or fashionable, but I get distracted by a pretty dress, bonus if you have pockets, or an interesting hairstyle. If someone just has a great look, I can't help but stare. Same with a good smile. I've been head over heels infatuated with a lady with Persian eyes or a particularly friendly, smiling guy. Basically, if you seem like you're feeling yourself that day, I can't help but stare. Story 17, still boobs. But belly. All the way belly. I like running my hands through the hair he has, squeezing it and laying on it. He recently got a warehouse job and he's super muscular and very proud of his weight, but the bella's still there. Edited to add after reading some comments, we work out together, but when we get done or he gets off work, his forearms are super pumped and veiny. Very attractive because they tend to flex like that in other situations. Story 18, I honestly have no idea. This happened to me recently. I have a pretty low libido. But the other day a customer came in. His personality annoyed the shit out of me. He wasn't especially conventionally attractive. Super skinny. Handsome, but also weird face? He didn't remind me of anyone in my past. But something about him made me want to jump him. Later, his wife and 4 boys came in. And I just figured the wife was afflicted with the same sort of crazy I had. Story 19, I have huge hands. I used to work on construction, so I would grip with a death grip 3 sheets of plywood that you use for roofing, and with that go up the ladder when you can grip and hold on to 3 sheets of plywood for long periods of time every day. Those muscles kind of tend to start bulging and your hands develop into these monster hands. I have since started working on cars and I hate my big hands because I can't get them into tiny spaces to get a bolt loose. Story 20, pretty sure it's a personal preferences thing, but for me, tall guys are pretty distracting. Not that I'm not also attracted to guys closer to my height, but YK, we all have our things we like. I've been rewatching some old cartoons from my childhood, and recently got back into Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. If you're interested, it's on HBO Max. First episode, when Blue and Mac first meet Wilt. That's pretty close to how I react when I see literally anybody over 6 feet 5 inches. Story 21. I vaguely recall reading about a study where they tested women's reaction times by showing them multiple pictures simultaneously, and told them to press a button as soon as a picture of an animal appeared. The reaction time was faster if the animal was a threatening predator, like a bear, than a docile one, suggesting that threats improve reaction time. However, the reaction time was significantly slower if one of the other pictures was a penis, regardless of the animal shown. Story 22. Fucking nice, clean beards dude. Great hair too tbh. My BF has a really great full beard that he keeps just long enough, and it's so fucking hot to me. I catch myself just staring at it while he's talking. I'll catch myself staring at any beard when a man is talking. My BF also has all this salt and pepper vibes going on, and it's so distinguished and CXCE. He's growing his hair out too, and I'm actually really digging it. It's super sexy. I got a thing for hair, I guess. Story 23. Shoulders and arms. In my experience, I have had multiple female coworkers lay hands on my shoulders and arms in the past. And when I was an undergrad, I had a middle-aged female boss who would be absolutely paralyzed and just stare if I was wearing a t-shirt and lifted an arm in a way that revealed any armpit hair. So, apparently that, too. No, I wasn't offended by any of it, but I learned to not raise my arms in front of my college boss, mostly because I think we were both embarrassed. Story 24. Okay, listen up. Forearms, especially when y'all do the roll up your sleeves thing, makes us think y'all are about to get down to business. Hands, my personal favorite, they can do so many things. The possibilities are endless. Sigh, smile. Men don't typically smile a lot, but my god, when y'all do. And if there are dimples involved and or beautiful teeth, Christ on a bike, the heavens open up. I swear I am a constant compliment giver, because I love to make y'all smile. Gray sweatpants IYKYK. Please like, subscribe and press the notification bell, it really helps the channel out. Share your stories down below in the comments. Hope you enjoyed.